like a lot of views. Like the last thing, like the She-Hulk thing that you posted,
It hit 12,000.
12,000. Yeah,
Which is our only video over 10,000 right now. So, and the T'Challa one is really close to.
I see that one's
7.2.
getting a lot of likes, or well, a lot of views as well.
Yeah.
So like the Marvel stuff is doing pretty big.
Yeah, Marvel is definitely one of our strengths, I guess, right now. I think people like our takes.
Mm-hmm.
I think like people enjoy the back and forth, but we're not really arguing, being combative. Even if we're critiquing something, it's not in the manner of like passive aggressiveness. Like I see with some people talk like criticizing She-Hulk. It's a lot of passive aggressive nature when it comes to people reviewing the show.
I think for you is like so you know a lot more about the Marvel, and I think for you, you've seen a lot more things with Marvel, the comic books, and as far as like everything that's happened in Marvel so far, you understand it more. Me just being like more like a casual viewer, because the things that I wanted to happen in Marvel haven't happened, like the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. Like those are the things that I've wanted to see, and it hasn't happened. But I think everything you know about all the comic books and stuff, that it's happened for you, like the Black Panther, Captain America, things like that. So
yeah. But the Fantastic Four and the X-Men are coming. So
yeah, I'm excited.
That's actually one of our topics. Who will be casted in the Fantastic Four?
Mm-hmm. And that's actually a good one, because and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the fan casting for Mr. Fantastic that happens in the movie, John Krasinski, everyone got the wishes for him to be Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, I think it was both. I think the fans wanted to see him as Mr. Fantastic, and I also think he wanted to be Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
it's just the MCU had to wait for, I think was it Fox that owned Fantastic Four, I believe.
Mm-hmm, Fox owned.
I may be wrong. Yeah, but they had to wait. So he's getting too old. He's getting a little older, and I think they want to go with a younger version of the Fantastic Four. So it's unfortunate. The timing just didn't work, kind of like with Donald Glover and Miles Morales. The timing, you're just old. You're too old now,
Well, like a lot of like the Marvel, basically the actors, aren't they up in age now? But when they started,
the newer characters.
Well, I'm saying when they started, they weren't too young either.
Most of them were mid to early 30s when they started. Other than Robert Downey, I think everyone else were not. I don't think any of them were older than 35, 36. So, but I think the MCU, I think their tactic is to go younger and lesser known, or if they're going to cast a star, it's going to be in a big role. I think they're going with lesser known characters or lesser known actors and actresses, because they can get them on those big contracts.
That's true.
And it won't cost a lot, because if, Chris Evans is talking about coming back. They're talking about, but in order for him to come back, they're going to have to offer him Robert Downey Jr. money to come back.
Well, what about like Chris Hemsworth? Isn't he coming back to play Thor?
Oh, I don't think he's going to stop anytime soon.
They're probably offering him a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to keep playing Thor. And then you said like Chris Evans might come back as Captain America.
Yeah.
Or just the role of Steve Rogers, I guess.
Yeah. Like I heard a couple things. He'll be back for Secret Wars. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe come back for another movie or TV show that, talks about when he went back in time to return on the stones, or took all the stones to the correct timeline.
I did see that. Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah. That would be crazy. Like basically every storyline as to where when he went back to put the stones, and everything that happened as soon as he time traveled. Yeah, that'd be kind of dope.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So and like I think a lot of people's issues with Phase 4 is we don't really have that leader, that guy, that girl, that person to connect everything. Because losing Tony Stark, he was a huge part of what the MCU was doing for 10 years, 10 plus
Mhm.
years, actually, almost 12 years. But then they got rid of Tony Stark and Steve Rogers at the same time, and they were the faces of the MCU. And I think fans aren't getting engaged with the new actors or the new characters they are bringing on right now.
So let me ask this. Do you feel like it's more impactful to have the team up movies or the solo role movies to kind of like tell the story, kind of like give a better storyline, better insight as to what's going on or what may happen in the future of the MCU?
That's tough. I think what made the MCU so successful in the beginning and throughout their, the first three phases was that no one was expecting the Avengers. I think that was the big thing. And then when it really happened, I think it changed the way even movies were being made. Everyone wanted a movie universe.
The universe.
I think it has to be a balance of both. Have the solo movies, but have them be solo movies
to tell the story.
Now they're trying to connect solo movies to other, movies or shows going on, which I appreciate. But I think what made them so successful in the beginning was that no one was expecting the team up movie. It told the individual stories and then they came together. True. Now the individual stories are trying to tie into everything, if that makes sense.
I understand what you're saying. Like, to me, those stories, those individual stories that we got, like when we got Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America, it kind of like brought like a bigger impact to what the MCU was doing to eventually build up to the team up movies like the Avengers and all the other stuff. And then you're bringing in other characters that, most people really aren't too, knowledgeable about. Like, I didn't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't know too much about
a lot of people did.
Scarlet Widow. I didn't know, a lot of these different characters. So it's bringing some of these other characters to light and it's helping you understand like how impactful they are to the story as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think, what do you think? Do you think the MCU is just getting too big, if that makes sense?
So
like it's too much going on?
To be honest, we knew what was going on in the first couple phases. Hey, we're going to eventually get to Infinity War, Endgame, we're fighting Thanos, Infinity Stones, all that stuff. I have no idea what's going on now. Like, I have no direction as to what's going to happen next. So I'm just like, I guess I'll try to watch the shows and the movies. I mean, I don't know.
I think what's going on right now, right, I think it'll start to make more sense as we get closer to the next big movie. But what's going on right now is the King, the Conqueror.
Yeah.
So there's going to be 2 Avengers movies back to back. So you got the King Wars, or I forgot exactly what it's called, and then the Secret Wars. So the Secret Wars, I think, is going to bring all the multiverse stuff together. Like, we're going to see the X-Men from the Fox universe. We're going to see some characters like John Krasinski will be Mr. Fantastic in the Secret Wars, but he may not be the Mr. Fantastic in our version of MCU or 616.
Okay.
So we're going to see all these characters. I think they're going to bring everyone together, and it's going to be bigger than Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, because you're going to have all kinds of characters from across the multiverse coming together to, fight, basically.
So aren't they supposed to bring in, like, hint to Fantastic Four in the next Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, the Quantum Mania? Like, supposedly they're supposed to be bringing them in. They're supposed to have some tie-in or part of, like, the story in the next movie for Ant-Man.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
A lot of rumors and stuff spreads around MCU. At this point, it's really hard to tell who is telling, like, where these people are getting information from and who's telling the truth. I trust a few sources, and I did see someone talking about introducing the Fantastic Four, hinting at the Fantastic Four in the next Ant-Man and Wasp movie. But I hope it's true. I mean,
well, the reason why I say that is I remember, I think it was like earlier last year, actually, Kevin Feige was going over like all the movies that are to come and all the different shows that are going to come as far as like what Disney is going to release, Disney Studio or Marvel Studios releasing. And he had mentioned that. So I'm guessing that it probably is the truth if he's the one talking about it.
Oh yeah, if it came out his mouth, it's true. Yeah. So yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. I really love the Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. At first, as a kid growing up, they weren't that interesting to me. I did love the Human Torch though. I've always loved him. And Sue Storm, basically those two. But as I got older, I started to appreciate Mr. Fantastic more because his powers may not be, that cool, but how his intellect, and I think his most important power is how smart he is. I mean, he can stretch and stuff, but he really just outsmarts a lot of people.
So one thing that makes the Fantastic Four such a good comic book series is their villain. Their villain is one of the things that makes that comic. Dr. Doom. He's one of the most powerful villains in the MCU. So I believe it's him that makes the story all the more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, to have a good hero, you need a good villain. Mm-hmm. I think Dr. Doom is in my top 5 of villains, comic book villains of all time. That could be a list for another episode. But he's up there for sure. I don't even have to really think about it. He's in my top 5. It's kind of like the Joker. Joker's in my top 5. I don't have to think about it.
He's extremely powerful.
Yeah, and he's smart. That's what people forget. He's very smart. He has political power. He has the strength. He has the abilities, and he has the smarts to, overcome a lot of what not just the Fantastic Four, but other characters throughout Marvel throw at him. He's a very intimidating villain, and he's one of those villains that doesn't really think he's wrong. So that's another thing about him.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah,
it's very dangerous, especially when you see like Thanos. Like Thanos, obviously, he feels that tugging on him that what I'm doing is divine justice, and nothing can stop me because this is what the universe wants. I'm bringing order to the universe, and this is basically what's going to be what I want to be is what's going to be reality. So that's very powerful.
The one thing Thanos didn't think about is natural selection. I mean, some species are just meant to go extinct, bro. Like, you can't really change much about that.
Survival of the fittest.
And I think, he was trying to be a god. So, some species are meant to go extinct, bro. Like, you trying to save. He might have killed or through the snap, dusted away people that would have survived the natural selection process. Mm-hmm. So, you can't just alter things like that. But shout out to Thanos. He's one of the best villains in cinema history. So, shout out to him, and comic book and cinema. So, shout out to Thanos, man.
Mm-hmm. He did what he wanted, and basically he saw the reasoning for it, and he carried it out. So, hey.
He really did it.
Never give up.
I remember at the end of Infinity War, I was like,
never give up.
No, he really did it. Yeah, but he was scary. There was Infinity War at the beginning when they first brought on Thanos, like at that first scene, it was actually pretty scary.
He mixed the Hulk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Once he picked up Hulk and slammed into his knee to his face, I was like, this is pretty much that's done for him.
That's why Bruce Banner should have took some martial arts classes. I mean,
learn how to fight.
He worked with 2 of the greatest fighters in Marvel, Captain America and Black Widow. Like, you literally were around them every day. You didn't take any classes of how to fight. Because if the Hulk knew how to fight, he probably would have beat Thanos right there.
Damn, I mean, technically, wasn't he stronger than Thanos? Like, physically stronger than Thanos?
He was physically stronger, but Thanos just knew how to fight. That's the problem. Like, you could be stronger than somebody, but if you don't know how to actually fight, and somebody knows how to fight, most likely the more skilled fighter is going to win every time.
Hell yeah. It only takes like 4 pounds of pressure to break somebody's nose. If I get to your nose, even if you're stronger than me, I get to your nose, or if I discombobulate you by hitting your ears, then those are the sensitive parts. You could be, like I said, you could be stronger than me, but it ain't gonna matter if you can't protect yourself properly.
Yeah, that's why I learned how to box really good and wrestle really good. So, like, I'm 5'7", 155. So I'm not a big guy. So I had to learn to fight really good, or I would have got beat up every day. So I had to learn to, defend myself. But yeah, man, we got to get on this Fantastic Four casting, and
Let's do it.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some fan castings, three for each character, and see what you think and what the people think. They can leave their comments in the comment section.
Yeah, I'm really curious now as to what the fans have to say about like who they want as the Fantastic Four, because the movie's coming up soon. So I'm curious as to see people's opinions.
Yeah, I think either 2024 or 2025 is supposed to, come out. So they had to cast somebody right by now. I mean, D23 is coming up this week, so we'll see. But let's roll. Let's go with the leader first, Mr. Fantastic. The first one, kind of obvious, is John Krasinski.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that?
So obviously we saw him in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Everybody was wanting him to be Mr. Fantastic. He seems like a really good choice, but like we were saying earlier, he's getting up there in age, and Marvel wants to go the route of someone younger. But I could see him possibly still holding the role. It would be really interesting, and I think it'd be exciting for him. So
I would love him to be Mr. Fantastic in our version of the MCU in the 616, because he's someone sort of like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, that can carry the MCU. Someone that level of a star and that level of an actor to be the face of the MCU. I think he would be excellent, because right now it's kind of like we're missing that. I love all the shows and the movies, but we're missing that
leader.
The leader. We're missing it. I think unfortunately, I think it was supposed to be Chadwick Boseman that was going to be that person leading the MCU. But unfortunately, his untimely death. So now it's kind of like we have a bunch of side heroes, side characters as the face of the MCU right now. And it's, we're kind of lacking. So that's why I think he would be an excellent choice. But it depends on what direction Marvel wants to go.
Do they want to go? Go ahead.
No, I was saying I think he's most people's top choice.
Yeah, because we've already seen him, and he looks like he could be good for the job. I was just gonna say, do you think they should go younger or older with whoever they're gonna cast?
Personally, I think they should go younger. Personally, but I'm cool with either or. What about you?
I'd go probably someone who's a more experienced actor, to be honest with you, because like we were saying earlier, a lot of the actors that they had brought in, they weren't super young. They were probably like mid 30s to early 40s, close to it. So they weren't like really young. I couldn't see someone like in their early 20s doing it, because
I wouldn't go that young. I wouldn't go that young. I'm talking about, I think Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth were what, 30 to 33, 34 early when 30s. They got casted.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that age, 30 to 34. So you get a good 10 years out of a person,
Man, we ain't having no baby face dudes up in here. Nah, bro.
Exactly. you cast someone in their already mid 40s. I mean, they're going to see that age really quick. So, that's the only reason I say younger. But when I say younger, I mean 30 to 34, 35-ish, not,
kind of just starting out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what we didn't tell the listeners is you're like the movie person. So you know all the actors and actresses. I'm not I love movies. I don't keep up with the actors and actresses. But so as we're going through this list, everyone please forgive me if I'm butchering these people's names or don't know who they are. So please forgive me. But the next person is Jamie Dornan.
Jamie Dornan. Oh, okay, okay. Game of Thrones.
You know what that is?
He has
Game
to
of
be
Thrones.
I think he's Game of
Oh,
Thrones. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Jamie Dornan. No, is this Game of Thrones?
50 Shades of Grey. Christian Grey and 50 Shades
Oh,
of Grey.
okay. That's my bad. That's my
Yeah.
yeah. The main actor from 50 Shades of Grey. He's
Mm-hmm.
he's like Irish.
Something like
Like
that.
Irish, yeah, something like that. That would be interesting. I personally, I wouldn't have thought of that. Or to be honest, it'd be interesting. I could see it, but like I said, I just really didn't think of that. But that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the build for it. I mean, he's a good looking guy. But what do you think
He's
about
40?
40?
So he's 40.
He's 40?
That's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad, actually. That's actually not too bad of an age range, for Mr. Fantastic. So I wouldn't mind. What do you think? Is he a really good actor, or you think he could carry the workload of, or be the face of the MCU? Or,
so the thing is this, like, the only movies I really remember him from are like 50 Shades of Grey, that whole series. And then he did like, King Arthur. Yeah, Robin Hood. Robin Hood. He did Robin Hood. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. He did Robin Hood with like Jamie Foxx and like one of his last name is Edgerton. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the comments are gonna know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay. So honestly, like we only saw his real acting through 50 Shades of Grey. So I don't know how he would do as like an action star, but
yeah, a lot of people. I mean, for John Krasinski, a lot of people are really only known from The Office. And if you were to told me, back when The Office was his biggest thing, that he would be Mr. Fantastic one day, I'd have like, no,
you're crazy. Yeah,
yeah. But now, like, I see it, so that's interesting.
Well, Jamie Dornan has done an action movie. Now that I thought about it, he did. It was some type of like war movie or something like that. Some type of like combat movie. I haven't seen it personally, but yeah. And so he has played like a role with some action in it. So it would be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. The last person for Mr. Fantastic is someone that is very intriguing for the role, and I think could actually do it. He's mainly known for like TV roles.
Okay.
But Penn Badgley from You, and I think the other one is Gossip Girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we know a little bit about him. He's been acting for a while. Honestly, once again, that's someone else I did not really think of or consider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
he's interesting. He'd be interesting.
Well, like he's another one I haven't really seen him do any type of like action role. Mm-hmm. But like we're saying that Mr. Fantastic is more of like an intellect. He's more of like a studious type person. So it probably wouldn't have to be someone who's like super big or muscular or something like that, or like one of those action hero types. So if he worked at it and really got into the role, he might do pretty good with it.
I think he's a very good actor. Mm-hmm. Especially after watching You, carrying that show where most of the dialogue is in your head, and most of it, like his facial expressions are incredible in that show, because most of his script, most of his narrate. I mean, most of the way he talks is in his head. He's speaking to himself a lot of the times, and the fact that he can make his facial expressions express that is really amazing. So we're going with on the younger side. I mean, I think he has the look. I think he could pull it off, because even Joe in You is pretty smart. He's not. He doesn't make the best decisions.
No, he really.
But he's smart. He's a smart guy to get away with that much. But that'd be interesting. I think he's right at the age that I prefer. That 35 range. I think he's 35 exactly. So we can get a good, 10 to 15 years out of him.
I think he could do the role. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That is very interesting. So next is the Invisible Woman. Unless you had anything else on pen.
I mean, that was all. I was going to ask, are we going to just, when we're done with naming who everybody else wants fan casted, are we going to give our vote on who we'd want to see? Okay.
Yeah, you can offer like, oh, you want to do it like out of these three or your own choice?
We could wait till the end to do our own choice.
Okay. But who would you prefer? Okay, let's do it like that. Sorry, subscribers. Sorry, listeners. We're new at this. We've only got about 30-some episodes posted. But so out of those three for Mr. Fantastic, how rank them?
Rank them. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll take John Krasinski at 1, Penn Badgley at 2, and then Jamie Dornan at 3. If we had to choose who's going to play the role, I'd probably do that.
Yeah. Mine would be similar. I would switch Penn with John.
Okay.
I'll put Penn first just because, like I said, I like he's younger. And that would be something that would be an interesting casting for him. I would love to see how he pulls that off. John will probably be he would be the best Mr. Fantastic, I think. Personally, I think he would be the better Mr. Fantastic, but I'm very intrigued to see if Penn could pull it off, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think physically Jamie Dornan, he'd probably be like, he'd probably fit the suit a little bit better, but as far as like embodying who Mr. Fantastic is, I don't know if I really, to be honest, I don't know if I really see it. But
yeah.
Sometimes actors surprise you, so.
Yeah. I've been surprised a lot by some actors, but yeah, let's go on to the Invisible Woman, one of my favorite characters in MCU.
Mm-hmm.
She's more powerful than people give her credit for. Man, she's actually super powerful.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Invisible Woman in general before we get started? Or do you have any thoughts on her?
Her powers are one of the most unique. Can she make so she could go invisible and make force fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, yeah, her powers are some of the most interesting. But I don't really have too many thoughts. I know that could come in handy when it comes to fighting villains. If you can go invisible and you can also make force field to protect other people, that's the best defensive move. One of the better defensive moves. So,
exactly. Yeah. So the first one is John's wife, Emily Blunt.
Yep. And she's a little bit, isn't she a little older too?
Let's see. I don't know how old
I feel like she is.
How old she is. She's 39, which isn't too bad.
No. Honestly, that's not too bad. She's still in her 30s, technically. Honestly, so they've done movies together. Obviously, The Quiet Place. Oh
yeah.
So, and plus they're married, so they would have automatic on-screen chemistry for those two roles because those two characters do have a romantic thing kind of going. So that would be an easy tie-in. So almost an instant easy choice. I haven't really seen her in too many roles as far as like action like that, but she did do a really good job in The Quiet Place. So I could see her like portraying someone who could do, something that's like a role super sensitive like this, role that's like action packed where you gotta, fight villains and bad guys. I could see something like that. Cause in the movie Quiet Place, she's like fighting aliens. So
yeah, I really enjoyed her and the both of the it's a Quiet Place in the sequel. I actually really enjoyed her in that movie. The way in both movies, the way she was able to lead and take care of her family, and in something in that situation is very, very like intriguing to me, and I really enjoyed. She was probably my favorite person in The Quiet Place. But yeah, you're right. She hasn't. Jungle Cruise. He was in Jungle Cruise with The Rock, so that was solid.
Okay, that's right. You're right.
It was a solid performance. Yeah,
I did watch that movie.
Yeah, that was a very solid performance from her. But do I think she can be the Invisible Woman? Yes, I do. especially if her husband cast it. If her husband is casted, they better cast her. In the MCU, they actually want her. She was supposed to be the Black Widow before. She was the first choice, so she couldn't do it, conflicting the schedule.
I know we said something about this earlier, but I remember reading something that when she had asked if she wanted to be the Invisible Woman, that she was like, "No, I don't want anything to do with superhero movies." But like you said, that could just be like trying to throw people off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, and a lot of the bigger actors don't want to get tied up in long contracts, like 6 film, contracts. They don't want to dedicate the time to that. Because I was watching an interview with Chris Evans, he was saying like 10 years straight of his life was filming, press tour, filming, press tour. So it's a constant thing. But yeah, she was supposed to be Black Widow before Scarlett Johansson, which would have been interesting as well. I'm happy Scarlett got the role. She did it really well. It was a great Black Widow. So shout out to her. But yeah, my thing is if John is casted, they need to cast Emily as well. I think it only makes sense.
I like to see it.
Yeah, same. And he's 42, so he's not too old. So it's not too bad for her, But the next one from the Invisible Woman is Melissa Benoist. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right or wrong, but she was Superwoman or Supergirl.
Supergirl
in the CW.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember her. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. I could kind of see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One, she's very pretty. She's very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said in one of our earlier, or actually the last episode, I don't watch too many of the superhero shows. But Supergirl, I've seen her a little bit in that, and also I've seen her in some other movies too, and just the way she portrays herself in whatever role she's in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see her actually just from that and those experiences. I could see her playing this as the Invisible Woman. Yeah, she'd be an interesting pick.
Same. I agree with everything you just said. 33 years old, has the look, has the talent. And usually when people go from DC to Marvel, they break out, become superstars. So,
you know what's funny too, and it's really ironic. Remember the last Fantastic Four,
one with Michael B. Jordan,
and Miles Teller.
Mm-hmm. I tell her, yeah.
So Miles Teller was actually in a movie with who we just named,
Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he played Mr. Fantastic in Fantastic Four. I just thought that was a weird connection.
Yeah, I feel bad for them.
Man,
because the script was terrible, bro. Like it was they did the best they could with what they had. But yeah, it's just unfortunate circumstances, which happens, The last choice or the last person that got on this list is Natalie Dyer from Stranger Things. She is she's Mike's older sister. I forgot her name already.
Oh, okay. I can't remember her name either. But I know who you're talking about.
Get it. Yeah. 27 years old too.
And if we're gonna go younger, she I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't really see it, but I know she's a badass in the last season of Stranger Things, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, I just can't see that for some reason.
Yeah, Nancy Wheeler, that's her name in Stranger Things. I agree to an extent. She's kind of like on the same, like kind of how I look at Penn Badgley for Mr. Fantastic. It's something would be intriguing to see if she can pull off. It'd be interesting if they want to go younger. That's a great choice, actually. And yeah, like you said, in Stranger Things season 4, she was a badass.
Yeah, she was kicking some butt, but for some reason I don't know why I can't see that. Like, and the thing is at this point, the only person to really fill that role was Jessica Alba from the previous Fantastic Fours.
Mm-hmm.
But
a lot of people didn't like her. She was probably the best part of the Fantastic Four, the original.
You think so?
Well, because I mean, that was my celebrity crush as a kid. So.
Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Natalie would be interesting. Wouldn't be my first choice. But like I said, same thing for Penn Badgley. It's something that I would have to see her. I would like to see her try. If they did cast her, I wouldn't be mad. I'd just be like, okay, let's see what she got. So out of those three, how'd you rank them?
Okay, so I will go. I forgot who you named second.
Melissa Benoist, Supergirl.
I'll go Melissa first. I'll go Emily second. I'll go Natalie third. Just because that
I like that
to me. Because I mean, think about it. Like Melissa's already playing a superhero, so she already has the experience. Mm-hmm. But like we did say, Emily would have the on-screen connection. Obviously, if she was paired with John Krasinski, she already have the instant connection. So that's a benefit.
Yeah, I actually agree. My order would be exactly the same. Only thing that would change it, like I said, if they cast John, I want Emily as Sue Storm. So that's how I look at it. If he's casted, she better recast it. But I agree with your ranking. That's exactly how I would do it. And there's no knock to Natalie. I think she could pull it off personally. There's no knock to her, but like you got to rank it. So
she's a great actress, but at the same time, you got to keep the age leveling the same. Like someone really old with someone really young, and especially in these roles, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I feel like when casting the Fantastic Four, you have to cast those two characters first. You have to cast Reed Richards, and you have to cast Sue Storm first. I'm not worried about Johnny. I'm not worried about the Thing. I'm not worried about those two. You have to get those two right in order for these movies to work. So, moving on to the Thing. What is it?
Ben Grimm.
What's his first name again? Ben Grimm?
Ben Grimm, yeah.
Shout out to Ben Grimm. So,
actually,
what are your thoughts on the Thing in general?
Hold on. Actually, never mind. If we had, I don't want to go off screen, but no, we're good. But I should have got it. But my thoughts on the Thing, huh?
Yeah. No, what were you going to say?
Oh no, I was going to show you something, but I don't want to go off camera. Yeah, maybe another time. But so the Thing, he's like one of my favorite in the Fantastic Four. One of my favorite characters. One of my favorite characters, probably in all of Marvel. To be real with you,
for real?
Yeah, like I love Ben.
I do like him. I just feel bad that I wish he was more like the Hulk, that he could turn back human. It just sucks that he's stuck like that.
Stuck like a rock.
That's terrible. Yeah, that has to suck.
You can't get no girls,
life like that. Yeah, that's a miserable. That'd be a miserable life, bro. Like I'd rather just not have superpowers, bro. But shout out to Ben Grimm. I do.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say when they do the CGI for him, they're probably gonna do it the same as Korg from.
That was gonna. Yeah, yep.
That's what I could.
I was gonna say that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They got to do it better than how they did She-Hulk. Like I've watched that CGI, like dude. But
the best CGI they've had for Hulk so far is from the Incredible Hulk, the one they did with Edward Norton. That's probably the best that I could really see, that I could think of, honestly. It seemed more detailed to me.
I can see that. But Ben Grimm, the Thing. Jason Segel. Am I saying that right?
Jason Segel.
How I Met Your Mother.
Come on.
He was in How I Met Your Mother. You know who he is?
Yeah, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He was in a movie recently on Netflix not too long ago. Yeah, I know Jason Segel.
I've seen him in movies. Just not too familiar with him.
He's more of a comedy guy.
But that'd be interesting.
Wow. Jason Segel. I don't know if I could see that at all. That's just a random pick. It's just like they were throwing darts at a board when they said, "Hey, Jason Segel," you know?
Yeah.
I feel like Ben Grimm would go to someone more serious, though, more serious of an actor. I'm not saying he's a goofball. I'm just saying the roles he gets are never really too serious, you know.
Yeah, I like when they make castings like that because it shows you the different range of character, like a range of or talents of an actor or actress. Just like seeing Kevin Hart play a serious role for the first time was actually like shocking, and it was believable. So, yeah, maybe not super familiar with Jason, but I've seen him in movies. But for Ben Grimm, we'll have to see the rest of the list before I can get my full opinions on that.
So Jason Segel did play one movie on Netflix. It basically, it did show some of his range. He was, instead of a goofball, he was like a robber. He was basically holding a billionaire hostage.
Oh, what's the movie called? I think I've seen it.
Oh man, it's like, oh man, it's. I cannot think of the name of the movie, but you know,
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like he threatens.
Yeah, we'll see. But the next one is probably going to shock you. Actually, a megastar. To some maybe consider a megastar, superstar. Been around for a long time. He started off a rapper. But Mark Wahlberg.
What? Yeah, that did surprise me. Mark Wahlberg. That'd be interesting. I'll go ahead and say I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when you think
he's played some blockbusters.
He's made some big movies. I mean, he's been in Transformers. He's been in a lot of action packed, you know, like a bunch of like shooting movies. So, and he stays in shape, especially for his age. He stays in pretty good shape. So,
yeah, because he's up there. I mean, he has to be in his 50s. But Ben Grimm for him is different because he's CGI, so it doesn't really matter how old he is.
And another thing, Mark Wahlberg does have that street toughness to him. So,
that would be intriguing.
Yeah,
I know I keep saying that word of the day.
SAT.
But those are the only two the selections for the thing. No, they didn't give us a younger option. But like I said, I don't think it really matters once he's a rock. But like before, you know, they gotta, unless they already have, I don't know if they're gonna have an origin story for them. I don't know how they're gonna do that. But it is to be awkward if they have a young cast and then
one old guy.
Well, Mark Wahlberg's 51. I think Jason Segel was 42. That'd be a little odd, but I can get past that. If these are the options, I'm pretty sure they got. I don't even know if these two are realistic, to be honest. But what are your thoughts on those two? I mean, the ranking is kind of 1-2. So
those two are really different people too. It's weird, really weird that someone would be like, "Hey, Jason Segel, Mark Wahlberg." It's like, well, hey, I'm still can't get over someone wanting Jason Segel. Like he produced like something for the Muppets. I really can't. I couldn't see him at all. I mean, but I would think I would pick more Mark Wahlberg. Like I said, he has that toughness to him, and basically he has some pretty good one-liners too. So he could probably fit into the role if he really worked at it.
Yeah. Those are two interesting choices. I wish they gave us a younger option, but they didn't. So, I mean, I will go Mark Wahlberg first, just because I know who he is and more familiar with him.
Just as a side note, but it was just in my mind. I have to say it out loud. One episode we have to do. Who had better casting? DC or Marvel in the movies we've seen so far. But that's got to be an episode for another day.
There's be another episode. That's actually an excellent episode. I can't wait to do that.
especially with the movies that are coming out for the remainder of the year.
Yep. Yeah. And they're doing make a news like a series comparing. We'll talk about that later. But let's get we gotta get through this because people are like, you guys are taking forever to get through this list. So let's go on to my favorite, the Human Torch. What are your thoughts on the Human Torch? Yeah, what are your thoughts on him?
I mean, I've always liked the element of fire and the fact that he could fly as well. I mean, yeah, he's kind of like a little careless, kind of like just a happy-go-lucky type of guy. Kind of wants to just, and that his powers fit his personality. To be real with you, kind of like a fiery spirit, hot-headed, fiery spirit. But I like him. I don't know as far as like the fire users in the MCU. I don't know how he ranks up there, but I'm pretty sure he's like one of the top.
Yeah, he's one of the more powerful characters that can control fire. Human Torch is one of my favorite characters overall. As a kid, I really liked his powers. I always thought that was cool. He is a hothead. He's a hothead in the comics, movies, shows, whatever. I think Chris Evans did do a terrible job as Johnny Storm, but yeah, we'll see. This first one may surprise you, it may not. Jamie Dornan.
Again. So him,
they just want to get him in the movie.
I could see him playing Human Torch. Yeah, him playing Human Torch. Not Mr. Fantastic, but yeah, I could see him doing Human Torch. He's still young enough. He's still got like that. You know, his build would fit perfectly with who Human Torch is. So I could see that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not super familiar with him. Supposedly he has a role in MCU. No one knows what it is. That's probably why he's on this list twice. So we'll see. It depends. For me, it depends on the direction they're going to go in. But here they say they could see him more as Mr. Fantastic rather than the Human Torch. But everyone has their own opinion. I can't really give mine because I'm not super familiar with him. Logan Lerman.
What has he been in?
He was in Percy Jackson's actor from those terrible Percy Jackson movies. Let me see. I know people are going to kill me in the comments for this. 30 years old. Let's see some roles. Percy Jackson. Oh,
was he?
I watched those movies.
Was he the one playing Percy Jackson, or is he playing somebody else?
Probably.
Yeah, if you name another movie, I could probably know exactly who you're saying.
Let me go to the more recent movies. Hunters. Jack and Bobby. Oh, that's television. Bullet Train, which I think that just came out.
That just came out.
End of Sentence. Damn, what? Percy Jackson. Yeah, he was Percy Jackson.
So he was, okay.
I thought so. Yeah, I thought so.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. So, we'll talk about that towards the end because we gotta get through this. I just had the thought because him, the fact that you brought him up just gave me another thought of who I'm gonna pick who I would want to play him. So I could see it. I mean, he's young enough, obviously. It'd be interesting to me. He's done like kind of like supernatural stuff with Percy Jackson. He's already, had powers and things like that. So I mean, he could probably fit into this role.
Yeah. Damn, people really didn't like the Percy Jackson movies. I mean, I guess I was a teenager or a kid when I watched them.
When they came out, you liked them?
I didn't think they were terrible. Like I didn't think they were the best movie in the world, but I didn't think they were terrible.
I never read. I don't
really have an opinion. Yeah, I never read the books. That's interesting. So the last one is really going to surprise you. He's an older actor.
Right.
He's been around since I think at least the 80s. He's been acting since at least the 80s.
Jesus.
But he's not old. He's not old, but he's been acting since the 80s. Okay. He was a kid. He was a child actor. Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, the only other person I can think of who's been acting that long and who's not really old. Yeah, Ryan Gosling.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't see it. I can't see it for the fact that Ryan Gosling, in some of his movies I've watched him, he's kind of like emotionless. Have you ever seen the movie Drive?
Mm-hmm.
What is he doing? He's like,
yeah,
he killed someone with a straight face.
yeah. I mean,
I've never heard.
but
Go ahead.
no, I was going to say I thought he was going to be Ghost Rider. I can see that.
Actually, yeah, I guess I could see that.
I can see him as Ghost Rider for sure.
But the thing is, it's like some of the other movies, his tone is just so like low, and it's not really like dynamic. There was like what was the movie? I forgot what it's called. It was like him and Harrison Ford in it. It's like a reboot. I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about.
Something Runner.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It's an old movie from like a long time ago though.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just in those movies just kind of like emotionless and just like I said, his tone's very low. It's not really high spirited. So I really couldn't see him playing someone who's fiery like Johnny Storm.
Yeah, Blade Runner.
There you go.
Yeah. I'd have to agree. But mostly just because I think Ryan Gosling will be better in a movie where he's the lead character, lead role. Ghost Rider, I think, would be a really good casting for him. Given his abilities and his temperament, his demeanor, I think he'll make it. I think he can make a really good Ghost Rider. Johnny Storm, I don't see it. Maybe 20 years ago. Not even, maybe 15 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe. But now, no. I'd rather see him as a lead role, a lead character in his own thing, or not being part of a team. I'd rather see him in a movie or a show where he's his own thing.
You can't look like a dad and be in this role.
Yeah. Johnny's supposed to be the youngest one by a couple years. Because Ben, Reed, and Sue are all in similar ages. So, and then Johnny's 5-10 years younger. So, yeah, I don't see him as Johnny Storm, but shout out to Ryan Gosling. I don't think he's a bad actor at all. So since we got through that list, I personally, my main choices have been listed.
Okay.
So the only person I could throw out there for Johnny Storm, I'll just throw out Joe Keery from Stranger Things. I think he can do it. I think he'll pull it off. But other than that,
is it the dude who played Billy, right?
No, not Billy. But oh shit, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
The dude that played.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Joe Keery, he played. He's one of the main characters. He dated Nancy in the first season.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, him?
Yeah. What the hell is his character name again? That's gonna drive me crazy. I keep forgetting.
I know you're talking about. I forgot his name too.
Yeah, I think he can. That'd be someone interesting to me personally to see him be in a role like that. And I think he can do it. You know what the funny thing is? Because I saw him in different movies too, huh?
The funny thing is, a lot of people want just one person from Stranger Things to be in the Fantastic Four.
Fair?
I saw that. Someone was like, we'll have John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, insert Stranger Things cast member, and then whoever else is Ben Grimm. I'm like, so they want somebody from the show.
Yeah. Steve Harrington. For everyone out there.
Okay.
And sorry, I'm forgetful, guys. So I do know these characters. But yeah, I mean, I think right now the only person that is casted from Stranger Things in MCU is Max. I forgot her real name. God damn it. People are gonna be like, dude, this guy's slow, man.
No, you're good. I mean, there's so many. Yeah.
Yeah, but I will get her name. Sadie Sink. Which I think, personally, after season 4, watching season 4 of Stranger Things, she was already one of my favorite characters. But I'm excited to see her in the MCU.
She's in the MCU. Is she?
Yes, she is. It's not a super popular character, but I think let's see, what's the character's name? Would be damn. What the hell is the character name? Oh, she'll be part of Songbird in the Thunderbolts. So she's like an anti-hero.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the Thunderbolts in general because I mean they've been hinting at it for a while.
So what I was gonna say is my choice for Johnny Storm, and it was when you said old boy's name from Percy Jackson. I was thinking, have you ever seen The Maze Runner?
Hmm?
The main character, Dylan O'Brien. Yeah, I was thinking him. I was like, I could see him. Yeah, I could see him. He's still about a decent age.
Yeah, that's actually really good. Yeah. That's actually really good. You got anybody for? What about Ben Grimm? You got someone personally?
That's a good one. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head right now. I
saw someone say Seth Rogen. I was like, that would be interesting.
Seth Rogen, yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, but
if they wanted to go the funny route, yeah. Would
you rather see a funny version or a serious version?
I'd rather
see something in the middle.
I'd rather see something in the middle because he's a talking rock.
Yeah, and he's funny. He's funny in the comics, in the show. In all the shows growing up, he's always been the funniest person out of the Fantastic Four.
Okay. Yeah. Someone in between. Like when it comes to fighting, giving them hands, you gotta be serious. But when you just you with the rest of the crew, I guess you could be telling jokes and just chilling. So I wouldn't. Yeah, something in between would work perfectly.
Yeah. Anyone specific for that wasn't listed for Invisible Woman?
For Sue Storm. It's weird, but I know it wouldn't happen. Old girl who plays on The Boys.
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of her name. Yeah.
I'm done looking up stuff. Sorry, guys. You guys know who we're talking about.
If you've watched The Boys, yeah. It's just someone who's like more petite and smaller. I could see playing the role of Sue Storm, but
I
just can't think of too many younger actresses that could, really fit that role right now.
I think I really like Supergirl. I mean, Melissa. I forgot her last name already, but I wouldn't mind seeing her. I mean, I can't really think of anyone outside of that, like you said. So
she could do a really good. I could see her doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. And then Mr. Fantastic. You got anyone that wasn't listed?
No, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head right for that either. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. No worries, because I can't either. So it's nothing. And I'm sure, like you said, this is why we got listeners and subscribers. You guys leave your opinions. Let us know. Critique us. Offer advice. You guys, that's what we need you guys for. We'll come back around and mention in another video saying, okay, yeah, this person came up with this and that and that. So yeah, definitely let us know. We got one more quick topic because I know you got to get up early tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to drive on out. But we got time for it though. So
yeah. So next topic, back to Yu Yu Hakusho, our bread and butter.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody on Reddit showing us love, offering their opinions, criticism, critiques, whatever. We appreciate it all. So Yusuke compared to, we could say modern protagonists.
Yeah.
But, anything past 2000, but however you want to do it, how would you compare him? Where does he stand among other protagonists, and how would you compare him to other anime protagonists?
So are we talking just the character, or we're talking like power, like techniques, fighting style? What are we talking?
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm ranking him, if I'm putting him in as far as like how I see him as a fighter, obviously he's like, to me, he's probably top 3 when it comes to modern anime characters from I'd probably say 2000 moving up till now.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to talking about like fighting, you compare them to like the Naruto's, or you compare them to like the Ichigos, the Luffy's, Midoriya's, Tanjiro's.
Yeah. Wow, top 3.
He, when it comes to fighting and power, like just his power alone, and just the fact that he's a half demon, and the fact that he can straight up destroy a planet. Yeah, you have to.
I don't think people give him enough credit for how powerful he actually is.
You don't.
I think it's kind of overlooked because when you look at someone like Goku, you know he's powerful. You know everyone's seen it. Everyone's seen the growth, and Dragon Ball is still going on today. I think why people would take your comment the wrong way is because they're not too familiar with Yusuke.
Yeah.
But yes, he's half demon, half human, and yes, he is very powerful. And the thing with the modern anime, especially in the last decade or so, their characters, other than Saitama, but he's a parody, they focus less on overall power and focus more on the
character,
the character development in the story.
Yeah, I could see that.
The modern characters, compared to the older anime characters, aren't as powerful. But most people appreciate the storytelling and the character development, the character growth. I think that's the biggest thing with the characters today. I don't think Deku stands a chance to get Yusuke.
Look at it this way. Yusuke at the end of the Sensui arc, he was powerful enough to destroy a planet. So we fast forward to the next arc, the end of the Three Kings arc. He's 50 times more powerful at the end of that arc. So what does that mean? What? And he's, like I said, he's powerful. He has enough power to decimate the whole world if he wanted to. So you have to, putting it in like an actual power range is kind of difficult because we don't really have, the scaling of power levels in anime.
Each
like
show
that.
is different. Each show is different.
The power system is different.
The character, it's kind of like Dragon. That's always tell people with Goku. He's strong. He gets stronger because he has to.
Yeah.
It has to go. He has to. Every villain gets stronger. Every opponent gets stronger. So Goku has to continually grow, and Vegeta has to continue to grow and get stronger. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. And I'm glad modern anime stayed away from this. This ridiculous power. Just keep it more grounded. Because I think they've seen what the 90s characters had to go through. Like that's too much power. Like you're doing too much now. But yeah, I agree. I think Yusuke will wipe the floor with the most modern protagonists easily. He's a really good natural fighter, kind of like Goku. They're really good natural fighters. And then you add on the power. And then he has genius level intellect when it comes to fighting and strategizing.
Yeah.
So
he's a master tactician when it comes to fighting.
Yeah.
As far as like his strategy, what he does, he will study what you're doing, and then he'll tailor his fighting style to whatever you're about to throw at him. That's what makes him like a master at his art and his craft. I mean, he started off as a street fighter, but then after his training with Genkai, he developed that skill and made it into an actual martial art.
Yeah. He will wipe the floor with most like modern day protagonists, just because modern day protagonists don't have to be that strong. They just, their strength fits their story. Now, the only character the only hero I think from like My Hero Academia would be All Might. All Might is the only one I think that can compete with these characters, these level characters. But All Might is technically supposed to be like one of those characters. He's supposed to be like a Goku. He's supposed to be like a Yusuke. That's why everybody looks up to him. He's an older hero, but the younger heroes, and it's not just My Hero Academia. I just noticed a popular one, but even Demon Slayers, all that stuff. They don't need to be that powerful.
No.
It doesn't even fit the story. Now, Ichigo and Naruto are in Luffy are a little different. Although I don't think Luffy is on that level of Yusuke or even Naruto.
No, he's not. He's not even close to being the most powerful in his own show.
Yeah. But I just think Yusuke as a protagonist is. We're talking about just power and fighting. He's one of the best of all time. But then we compare character development, character growth, story arc. He's also one of the better characters in anime.
I'll put him as a top in the anime, but I'll tell you this: I'm not putting him above. And I know a lot of people are gonna hate me. Whatever. I'm not putting him above Naruto. Naruto's story is underdog. One of the best underdog stories ever. And the character growth of him basically throughout all of the 2 series, Naruto Shippuden, is probably probably the best as far as him changing, him maturing as a person, him actually.
Yeah, we needed him to mature. Yeah.
Oh man, because he was
annoying.
He was dumb.
Yeah, he was very annoying.
He'd always mess up. Yeah. But the thing is, kind of similar to Yusuke, he would learn his opponent's fighting style and kind of tailor whatever he's doing to what his opponent was doing. So
I don't think people would be too mad at that take.
Yeah.
The Yusuke isn't the best anime character of all time.
Yeah.
He may be one of our favorites, but you have to be objective. But yeah, Yusuke definitely is up there when it comes to character development, character growth, story arc. He's up there. He has to be up there. He started off as a punk, not in a punk in a bad way. Punk as, how we referred to punks in the 90s. He was a thug, basically. To go from that to not having many friends all the way until the end where he's fighting for his friends, for his loved ones. It's just an amazing story, and you just have to watch and see for yourself. For the people who haven't seen it, for the people who have seen it and know what we're talking about, they can attest for us that from the beginning to the end of the series, it's just he's the same person, but a different person at the same time. It's the maturity. His personality doesn't change that much, but he grows because I think at the end of the series he's 17.
He's close to being an adult. But here's the thing too, and I know I'll make a lot of people mad at this one too. But whatever, put in your comments, challenge me on this one. Whatever. To me personally, the most complex protagonist, if we're talking about modern day anime, is Eren Yeager. And the reason is because he is the only protagonist that starts off as a hero and eventually works his way to becoming the villain of modern anime. Now, I don't know about
what show. What show is this?
Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah.
Just right now, what's going on? Yeah, man, he's most definitely a villain. I know he had his reasonings. I know he's doing what he's doing right now to kind of whatever he wants to accomplish, but still, you cannot label him as a hero right now. He's definitely a villain, and he's the only protagonist that built his way to becoming a villain. That's why I feel he's
crazy.
He's the most complex. Because if you look at if you watch the past season, you find out that he was pulling the strings the whole time, and he was damn near it's kind of crazy, but he was time traveling.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But he was kind of time.
I still haven't finished it, but I don't care.
Time traveling in a way.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting take.
Yeah,
that is an interesting take.
So I feel he's the most complex now. As far as if you were to compare him to Yusuke, I still feel like Yusuke, as far as character development into being someone who we could all admire, all look up to. Obviously, Yusuke wins on that one, but I just like the complexities and kind of the different inner battles that Eren Yeager has, because it's kind of like the Thanos thing. What he decided he wanted to do to, guess, however he wanted the world to be was what he sought out to do. So I don't know. He just felt what he was doing was right.
Yeah, that's understandable. I don't think people can't really be mad at your opinion.
Yeah.
But the thing about the modern day anime is that they have the benefit of learning from the mistakes of their predecessors. I think early on in the 90s, most protagonists were like almost the same character in a way, but now, like you said, it's a lot of complex characters in anime, complex storylines, better storylines, keeping the power more contained, keeping the characters more grounded, but telling better stories. I think anime has come a long way in when we're talking about that kind of stuff. But still, the growth of Yusuke is one of the best I've seen personally throughout watching anime. And another character, this is a side note, Light Yagami went from Death Note, went from a smart kid, obedient kid to literally a monster within this show. So I think a lot of characters, like you can see like each decade of anime, how they borrowed from the previous, manga and anime to now, and how they're adding that flavor to the new characters is crazy. And is actually, that's why I think overall anime is better today than it's ever been, but it's because they had the benefit of learning from the past.
Building from their foundation. No, you're absolutely right. Like they took from Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, Rurouni Kenshin, even Cowboy Bebop. They took from all those shows and basically have made some great products today. Shout out to all the anime studios, to like all the creators, all the manga writers, all these people that have really just learned from their predecessors.
Yeah. So that's our take on Yusuke compared to modern day anime protagonists. We would like to have you guys' opinions in the comment section, or wherever you get the podcast. For the Yu Yu Hakusho fans, where do you rank Yusuke upon or against modern anime characters, and how do you compare the two? That's how I'll put it. How do you compare him to other characters? We would definitely want to know that.
Yeah, I mean, we could even voice your opinion during the show one time, and just kind of like whatever your take is, we can kind of like bring it to light and kind of give our opinion on whatever you say. So, yeah, feel free to say what you got to say.
Yep, and shout out to all the people in the comment section that in our T'Challa video. As we get closer to Black Panther, we'll make a follow-up video, and we will definitely voice you guys' opinions and thoughts. Appreciate the criticism. Appreciate your opinions in general, though. Actually, great conversations in the comment section. Interesting conversations in the comment section, and so also our people on Reddit, the Yu Yu Hakusho Reddit, the subreddit, offering their opinions on the Kuwabara video. A lot of interesting takes on there. So it's good to see that people are communicating their opinions with us, and we're able to have healthy conversations about things we love.
Yeah, and just as a side note, and I don't mean to get on a soapbox, but I'm just tired of whoever these kids are in the anime community saying all this stuff about Demon Slayer. The fact that they keep saying that it's only the animation that carries the show. No, that is dead wrong. It's the characters and the plot. I'm tired of hearing it. The animation's top tier, obviously, but it's more than the animation that carries the show. It's basically the different characters, everything that's happened, the matches, the fights. I just want people to put an end to it, and hopefully this podcast will help do that.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. Like the animation is great in the show, but I mean,
unbelievable.
It's a great story in general. Like it's a great. That I didn't know people were doing that, man.
And here's the thing: the reason why I put Tanjiro over Midoriya is because Tanjiro has to become a demon slayer. He has to become a demon slayer.
He didn't have a choice. Midoriya doesn't have to be a hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a quirk at first. He just quirk. I don't know what I just said, but he didn't even have any powers or anything.
But he didn't need.
He could have been just a normal
powers.
dude.
He could have been just a normal guy going to school, living a normal life, and the world would have just kept going the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, old boy from Demon Slayer literally he didn't choose this life. He came back home to this madness and was like, "Oh shit!"
And the thing is every fight he's in, he has a high chance of dying. Like if he isn't on top of everything he's doing in the moves and basically all his sword fighting ability, he literally gets head cut off and die.
And yeah, and to add to that, we definitely need to do when we do one of our rankings, top swordsman in anime has to be in there.
Oh man, yeah. That honestly, we might have to do a top 10 instead of a top 5 on that one. Because there's a lot of swordsmen in anime. Like EA, Tanjiro, Ichigo,
Trunks,
yeah. Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah.
Kuwabara.
It's quite a bit.
There's a lot of swordsmen.
The original, Hiei is like the original.
Yeah.
Not to say he's the first, but he's like the prototype of what, the swordsmen in anime are today.
Mm-hmm.
He's the prototype.
Just the way he uses his sword, and then basically his speed ability. A lot of anime is based off of EA.
Yeah. That's the anime stuff. We're gonna keep pumping out. Like we're trying to still figuring out our audience. Pushing 3,000 subscribers. At the beginning of August, we had 4 subscribers. So we appreciate everyone giving us a chance and enjoying the show. We're just going to continue to get better. This is still the beginning. We've been doing a podcast for a little over a year now. But we didn't start uploading on YouTube until about April, beginning of May. We come a long way. We're going to continue to grow. But yeah, thank you all, everyone subscribing and being a part of the community.
Yep, better pizza, better ingredients, better podcasts, better shows, better topics, all that stuff.
Yeah,
we get money.
I still can't believe people were saying Demon Slayer was just the end. That's crazy.
I mean, it is top tier animation. Even before it switched studios, but at the same time, there's a lot of like the younger anime community. They'll say like, "Oh, this is mid," and all this other stupid stuff. But they say it's only the animation that carries the show. I'm like, no, there's a story there too, buddy.
Yeah, kids don't appreciate a good storyline.
They really don't. As long as there's fights and good animation, that's all they really care about.
Yeah, you got to think that the gateway anime was Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
and that story isn't the best. Great action, but I got a special place in my heart for Dragon Ball Z, so I'll never really talk bad about it. That's one thing I'll probably be a little biased, even though it's not my favorite. It just got a special place in my heart. And one last thing I'm gonna say, people, let me see what I wrote down, because this is something I just thought about. Or like literally 10 minutes before the show, I was thinking like people enjoyed when Star-Lord was dancing in Guardians and Baron Zemo was dancing in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But they got a problem with She-Hulk dancing in an end credit scene. It's crazy.
I didn't think we should have brought that up earlier.
Like people are bashing her dancing in the post credit scene in the show that's supposed to be a sitcom and not taking that seriously. It's a comedy. It's not. I don't understand. You guys it's dudes that got a problem with seeing women twerk, but they enjoy Star-Lord and Baron Zemo dancing. This is crazy to me. And it trying to justify it. It's mind blowing.
The thing is, Megan Thee Stallion was in it. So what did you think was going to happen? Oh, yeah. Eventually they were going to have something like that in the show. I mean, come on.
And it was in the end credit scene. It wasn't like it was part of the main show. Yeah. I think a lot of people got a problem with I notice, and especially some of the YouTube channels I follow and subscribe to, like I enjoy the content, but the passive aggressive nature when it comes to talking about She-Hulk is crazy. Like, dude, can women have something? Can they have something? like Jesus, if you don't like the show, don't talk about it. Don't post about it. Don't watch it. Don't make videos of it.
It's like no one's forcing you to watch the show or hold the gun to your head. Like, oh, you got to watch this.
A bunch of whiny grown ass men that live in their mama's basement is what it seems like. All the people complaining, they do grow up. Like, if you don't like the show, don't watch it. Jesus, I like watching women twerk. Is that such a bad thing? What the fuck is wrong with people?
No.
Oh my God. But yeah, bro. Yeah. That's another topic for another day. Maybe when She-Hulk's when it's over at the end of it, we can give our overall review of the show and, throw on all the funny comments and the passive aggressive nature when it comes to some people, critiquing the show. You can critique a show without being a jerk.
Yeah, you could. Hey, we should do that. We should read the comment and give our take on whatever people are saying.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, when She-Hulk is over, we're gonna do that. Like, the show ain't that bad. Like, people are being overcritical of a sitcom. It's a sitcom.
I like the first episode.
Man, I like the first episode. Second episode is pretty good. Third episode wasn't bad. I like the third episode. I'm enjoying the show so far. It's not that bad. Like, I know we said this. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You don't have to. No one's forcing you to. Is it such a bad thing that Marvel was trying to branch out and cater to different audiences?
People act like
you guys are still getting. Yeah, you guys still get the core fans still get the other stuff. Yeah. Why can't Marvel do something different, cater to a different audience? My wife loves crime and law shows, so She-Hulk is something she enjoys. I enjoy watching that show with my wife because she doesn't watch too much of the Marvel stuff with me. So I don't mind it. Like, people just need to grow up. You got grown ass men sound like whiny ass babies.
Not every show can be the same. Like if you don't enjoy what's going on, you can move on to something else. It doesn't have to be exactly. I know you probably waited a while to have this character portrayed in a show, but at the same time, if it's not to your liking, then just wait for the next one. It's going to be out soon anyway, or just wait for the movies. It's not that big of a deal, but hey,
just watch it. Like, if you I feel like the problem is a lot of these dudes have hatred for women. Maybe. Because they don't get attention from women. I think that's the issue. I think the people complain, if they got attention from women, they wouldn't have an issue with it. You can literally just say, oh, I don't like the show, I just won't watch it. Like, that's all you have to say. You don't have to sit here and bash it constantly.
Oh, see, look what they're doing. They're messing up the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
One TV show was messing up the whole Marvel.
One scene. Get the hell out of here. One scene.
Like, Star-Lord danced to save the universe, and no one complained about that. Baron Zemo was dancing in a club in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. People loved it, made a meme out of it, enjoyed it. It was great. She-Hulk twerking with Meg Thee Stallion in an end credit scene is like the end of the world. It's the end of the MCU.
We can't have this.
This is crazy.
It's an abomination. You people are insane,
yeah, bro. Yeah, you guys just need to go. I'm not gonna say it. I'm keeping it family friendly on YouTube, but yeah, that was just something that I just was like, this is ridiculous. But shout out to everybody. Everyone's have the right to have their own opinions, but I also feel like there are ways to express your opinions without being a jerk. So,
yes,
I didn't like Miss Marvel that much, but I'm not going to sit here and continue. I'm not going to bash the show. I know there's an audience out there for the show that appreciated the show. So it's not that serious. I don't have to talk about it. If I didn't like it, I don't talk about it.
Marvel Studios is trying to get something for everyone. They're not just trying to cater to one audience. They're trying to be all inclusive, give everyone an opportunity to enjoy whatever they're producing. So some of y'all who are complaining, just wait your turn and you'll get what you want. Just give it a chance. Give it a chance. Go with an open mind. There are probably some things in that show that you might enjoy if you keep an open mind. If you keep a closed mind, then you're just not going to like it at all.
Bro, how many things in Marvel in the MCU have been led by women? What? 5, if that?
Not too many.
Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Wanda. I guess you can say Kate Bishop.
Maybe this
and
Wakanda Forever.
She-Hulk. Yeah, Wakanda Forever, She-Hulk, and Ms. Marvel. So 5 to 6 out of 40 plus, shows and movies. You guys got a problem with 5 to 6. And shout out to Peggy Carter. Shout out to Peggy Carter. I really love that show. I don't know if that's canon or not. But so 6-7 shows or movie out of 40 plus shows and movie. That's like what? Not even 10. Well, a little over 10%, 15% of the MCU have been led by women, and you guys have a problem with 15. You got 85%. Like, you have 85% of what is the big deal with letting women have something? I don't understand.
The whole thing is ridiculous. I don't understand, but
yeah, grow up.
It's just movies and TV shows, man. Don't take it that seriously.
Exactly.
But shout out to all the people who've been coming, watching the show, enjoying our opinions and takes, even if sometimes we sound a little wild, a little crazy. We've been having a good time. We appreciate it. Shout out to everyone, wherever you're watching it. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you're watching it through, what are we on, Apple? What are we on again?
Spotify, Amazon, Google.
Yeah. We're on all
wherever you get your podcast.
Wherever you literally wherever you get your podcast, we're on it at this point. So yeah. Bang bang.
Shout out to the community. We're going to continue to grow. 5,000 before the end of the year. Let's get it. I think we'll get there.
Yeah. And tell us we keep saying it. Tell us what you want us to talk about, or whatever topics we need to tackle. If there's something important to the community or to you personally, just let us know. We'll give our opinions on it. We're open to whatever. Yeah,
we don't really we try to stick to our strengths. Anime, Marvel, DC, crazy stories, sports, whatever. But we will talk about anything you guys want us to talk about. Mm-hmm. Personally, we don't care. We'll find a way to make it entertaining.
Mm-hmm. That's the point. Making it entertaining, making it fun. We are not too serious about this. Well, we're serious about this. We're not serious about. We don't take it serious. I don't know how to make this sound good.
We're not going to sit here and get pissed off at people for opinions. We're going to come on here, have fun, enjoy it, and keep it moving. It's not that serious to the point where we're going to freaking hawk out over someone else's opinion or because someone disagrees with us. If you disagree with us, that's fine. I don't care. We're not going to lose any sleep over it.
I'm still going to like whatever I'm still going to like whatever it is that I like. You're not going to discourage me from how I feel.
Exactly. We're not going to lose sleep over anything negative. But we're not going to sit there and be mad at you if you have some negative to say. I mean, everyone needs critics. So hate us or love us, we'll be here.
Nope.
So, but that's all I got, boy. I know you got to get out of here. Get a long drive in the morning. I know it's late, so
yeah, it's about like a 13.
Yeah, bro.
Is it like 13 hours? No, I think it's less, like 10 hours.
But, yeah, still, you need to get your rest, man.
Yeah, but yeah, appreciate you stopping in, man. This has been fun, like usual.
Yes, sir. Come up podcast.
Yes, sir. We'll see you. Have a good one.